Hello everyone, my name's Mrs. Walsh and I'm a teacher at the Livingston Road Primary Federation in Poole. I'm here today to teach you session 1 of 5 sessions of RE, which means religious education. Now, this is the first time I've ever taught RE over the computer, so please bear with me if there are any technical problems, but hopefully we'll get on with everything fine and no mistakes. Now, the theme for these sessions is going to be community. Now, if I said the word community to you, what do you think it would mean? Some of you might say it's the place that you live. Some of you might say it's your family. Some of you might have said that it's your school. Now, all of you would be correct. So a community is a place where you get a sense of belonging. So it's a group that you belong to where you feel a sense of belonging, you feel safe, worthwhile, and you do things together. So that is a community, and you can get lots of different communities and you can belong to different communities as well. So we're going to explore over the next 5 sessions how different religions create that sense of belonging and that sense of community within their beliefs and their religions. And we're then going to think about what this might look like for us in our own lives and whether there are any similarities or differences between that. So first of all, to warm our brains up, we're going to have a warm-up. So today's session is all about special places and how different religions have special places to create that sense of community and that sense of belonging within the people that worship there. So I want you to think of a special place you go to when it is your birthday. And shout it at the screen. You can tell me. Oh, some of you go to a restaurant. Some of you go to your grandma's house. Oh, lots of places. Do you know where I go? I like to go to a restaurant and I always pick my favourite meal. And when I'm there, all the waiters, they sing to anybody where it's their birthday and you get a free ice cream, which is good. So now think of a special place that you would go to if you've done something really well. Some of you said your head teacher's office. Yes, lots of your head teachers like to see your work, don't they, when you've done something amazing? An assembly, a celebration assembly, if you've done something really well. Yes. Maybe, oh, you get to go to a shop and pick a treat if you've done something really well. Oh, some special places to go there. I always used to like going to the head teacher's office to show my work. And sometimes you come away with a sticker as well. Right, can you tell me somewhere special you would go if you're feeling sad? Maybe you would go to somewhere quiet in your house where you feel nice and safe. Maybe you would go and see one of your grown-ups that you really trust and get a special cuddle. And that's a nice special place to be when you feel sad, yes. Okay, let's see. What special place would you go to if it's really sunny? If it's really sunny, what special place do you go to? Oh, lots of you living on the south coast. I've heard you shout out, beach, we go to the beach. Yes, on a nice sunny day, maybe some of you do go to the beach. Maybe you've got a tent and you go camping when it's really sunny. Maybe you go to a special caravan park or holiday place and you go there a lot when it's sunny because it's quite nice to go back to the same place on holiday where it feels nice and familiar, isn't it? So people have lots of special places in their life that make them feel really happy, and they might go there with special people. And we're going to think about special religious places today. So I'm just going to share a screen with you. Give me a clap if it works out. Here we go. And oh, there we go. Yay, it worked. So we're going to think about some special places that different religions have where they can create that sense of belonging and community, and they can go there and show their beliefs and celebrate their beliefs. So this is a Christian church. Now I'm just going to move myself a little bit up into the corner so you can see. Okay, so this is the Christian church, and at churches you may see, now all churches are different. Some are very modern, some are very traditional. Maybe you've got one near your house that you walk past, and maybe next time you can see if you can see some of these things. So sometimes you might hear church bells being rung, and this is to remind people that it's time for them to go to church, that there's a church service there. Also, you might see lots of crosses around a church, because the cross is a very special symbol for Christian people, and you'll often find them in churches or on their special book called the Bible. And talking of the Bible, you might see lots of Bibles. They contain the stories of the Christian faith, and sometimes they're put on the back of the seats so that when people are in church they can read the Bible there. And also you'll see some seats. Sometimes they're called pews if they're in lines in a church, because lots of celebrations and services happen in churches and people need a place where they can sit together. Now also in a church, and you might see these if you walk past a church from outside, sometimes they have stained glass windows, and these are windows made of coloured glass, but they tell stories. So the pictures in the window will tell stories from the Christian faith and the Bible. Now in churches you will see candles being lit during services, because Christians believe that God is the light of the world, and they light candles to symbolise this when they're in church and when they're having church services. Now at the front of the church you'll see a table called the altar, and this is used during services like weddings or Sunday services when Christians come together. And it might be the place where the vicar or the reverend stands to deliver the parts of the service. Now the font is a special basin that holds very special water, blessed water, for a special ceremony called a baptism. And that's where Christians welcome people into their church through the service of a baptism. Maybe you know someone that has been baptized, or maybe you have been baptized yourself if you're a Christian. Now, this looks like a very colourful, amazing place. So Hindu people, when they go to worship, they go to a special temple, a special place called a temple, and it's called a mandir. Okay, a mandir. And in this temple, there's a main shrine. And this represents the heart of the worshipper, the heart of the Hindu person going there. And it's usually right at the front of the temple. But before they go in, they show respect by taking their shoes off. So when you go to a Hindu temple, a mandir, you will see shoe racks where everyone can put their shoes before they go into the temple. And you'll see two temples at the top of the picture. And there's Hindu temples everywhere in lots of countries in the world. And you'll also see statues of different gods and goddesses, and these are called murtis. And you've got a little statue there in the corner of one of the Hindu gods. They look really exciting. I'd love to go visit one of these. Now, in the Hindu temple, in the mandir, they've got lots of special texts, special Hindu books, and they're kept in a special case because they're very, very special to the religion, and they're called Vedas. Now, I may get some of these words wrong because I don't know everything about every religion, but I do love learning about people. So I do apologise if I get some of these words wrong, but I am learning lots about different religions, and I always think it's really exciting and interesting to see how other people live their lives and to learn about other people's beliefs. So that's really important to me, but I do apologise if I get any of these words wrong. Now, the symbol you'll see here with the curvy lines is called Om, and this is a special Hindu symbol that you might see if you went to a Hindu temple. And again, just like in the Christian church, there's bells in a Hindu temple, and the worshippers, as they come to the temple, they'll ring the bell to let their God know that they have arrived. So there's a similarity there between the Christian churches and the Hindu temples. They both have bells. Now, Muslim people, their special place where they worship is called a mosque. So we've had a Christian church, a Hindu temple called a mandir, and now we're at a Muslim mosque. And they worship at the mosque. Now the mosque, as you'll see, will have a dome, big dome, and a tall tower called a minaret. Okay, now people used to use the minaret to call people to prayer. So someone would be there telling people that it's time for prayer. Now, I think nowadays, sometimes this is done over a radio station to call people into the mosque to pray. And you'll see on the left over here, this is the ablutions area. So this is to wash. People wash before praying or touching the special Muslim book called the Quran. So they wouldn't ever touch the Quran without cleaning their hands. So again, another sign of respect as they go in. And here you'll see in mosques at the front, there will be shoe racks as well. Where did we see shoe racks before? Yes, in the Hindu temple, in the mandir, there was shoe racks. So before they go in, they take their shoes off in a Hindu temple and in a mosque as well. Now, inside the mosque, you will see a wall that faces a special place called Mecca. Now, this is a special holy place for Muslim people, and it's called the Qibla wall. Now, I may have said that wrong, so I do apologise. But it's spelled Qiblah, Qibla or Qibla wall. And inside the wall, there's a little alcove, like a little niche, and this is called the mihrab. Okay, and when Muslim people pray, they will face Mecca. Okay, so that's why they have this special wall in the mosque, and everyone will pray facing that wall because it faces their special holy place, which is Mecca. Now, you will see sometimes at the top of a mosque a symbol that relates to Islam, okay, which is the religion of Muslim people. And it is a 5-pointed star, and this shows the 5 pillars of Islam, which are really important to the faith. They symbolize the faith, and the crescent moon and the stars, and that represents the greatness of their creator. So when you look at religious symbols, they always mean something. So the picture or what they represent will have some link to the faith that it represents. So you may see that symbol at the top of some mosques, sometimes at the top of the dome. Okay, now inside the mosque, there's a main prayer room, which is called the musalla, and everyone sits on the floor to pray. Now that's a bit different to the church, the Christian church that we saw, where they had pews. Here, they've got a special prayer mat or a prayer carpet, and people will sit on the floor to pray. And remember, they will always face their special holy place, Mecca. Okay, now at home, Muslims will pray as well, but they will have their own individual prayer mats at home, and they will also know the direction of Mecca, and they will always pray in that direction. But they're beautifully coloured prayer mats, aren't they? It would look amazing in there. And look at that Qibla wall. Very, very special and ornate. Beautiful. Now, Jewish people, they go to a special place called a synagogue. So we've had a Christian church, a Hindu mandir, a Muslim mosque, and now we've got Jewish people that go to a special place called a synagogue. Now, when they go into the synagogue, most people will cover their heads, and men wear a special cap called a kippah. It's like a little round cap that goes on top of their heads. So again, another sign of respect as they go in. And they have a large prayer room, and Jewish people gather there to pray, and the men will wear a special shawl called a talit when they pray, and you'll see a picture of that there, and I think it's got tassels on it as well. So they've got a special shawl that they wear called a talit when they're there, and they cover their heads. Now, the symbol that you might see in a synagogue is the Star of David, and this is a symbol of Judaism, and you may see it around the synagogue. And then you will also see this beautiful candelabra. So that's a kind of structure that holds candles, and you'll see it in the bottom of the picture. And that one in the picture is a 7-branch. Oh, that one's actually a 9-branch, but there's a 7-branched candelabra. But the 9-branched one that you see in that picture is lit during a special festival called Hanukkah. and they use the middle candle to light all of the other candles through each of the days of the festival of Hanukkah. Now, also in the synagogue, they have a special text, a special book called the Torah, and it's very, very sacred to Jewish believers. So they have a special platform that they place the Torah on, and that is called a bima, and you'll see it, that table, that very ornate table. Where's my cursor gone? Here. But that very ornate table in the middle there is the place where they would put the Torah. So the Torah is placed on the bima, and it's often in the middle of the room, okay? Or maybe at the end near the ark. Now the ark is like a very, very special place where they keep the Torah because it's so sacred to them, and it's a special book to Jewish believers. They have the ark, and look how decorated the ark is here. And that will hold the Torah, and then they will bring the Torah out and place it onto the bima. Okay, so we've got the Torah, which is the special book, which is placed on the bima, which is the special table, and that Torah is kept in the ark, which is a special decorated place for the special book. And in some synagogues, above the ark, where the Torah is kept, there is a special light, okay, called the Ner Tamid, which means eternal light. Do you know what eternal means? It means forever, okay, and it's always burning as a symbol of their God's presence. Now, we've looked at 4 special places there. Can you remember what they were? Yes, a Christian church. Yes, a Hindu temple called a mandir. Yes, a Muslim mosque. And a Jewish synagogue. Well done. So those 4 special places are very special to those religions. Now, what did you notice that might have been the same about those things, about those places? Because there were some similarities, things that were the same. Some of you might be saying that they all had a place that you could come together. Yes, they all had a room where people could gather together, either to pray or to celebrate, but to come together in their faith and in their belief. Yes, they had special books and special texts. You had the Bible, the Torah, the Vedas, and they helped them to learn about their faith and their beliefs. And the Quran, that was the other one, wasn't it? They had symbols to represent their religions. So you had the star and the crescent. You had the Om symbol for the Hindu religion, the cross, and the Star of David there. And they will show those symbols in those special places. And some of you may have said that they had a sense of respect, a way of respecting their faith, a way of respecting their beliefs. So that may have been covering their heads, it may have been taking their shoes off, or it may have been taking really special care of that special text, that special book in their religion. So lots of similar things about these special places in these religions and how they respect their religion in those places. And you may have said that they continue their faith at home. So some of those religions, they would have temples or shrines at home so that they could pray and continue their beliefs at home as well. And they would be special places to them there. Now, what did you notice that was different about those places? You may have said that some people prayed on chairs and some people prayed on the floor. Yep, so some of the places had seats and people would sit to worship in the special place, or they would pray or gather together on the floor. And you had those lovely mats, didn't we, in some of those special places where they would do that. And some people wore special clothes to their place of worship. Yes, some people who wore head coverings or prayer shawls when they went to those special places. Well done. So we learned a lot there in a short space of time about lots of different special places, and what interesting things to learn about how things are different and similar at these places. So I want you to think now about a place that is special for you. So somewhere where you may go with family or friends, maybe you go there more than once, but where it makes you feel special, where you have a sense of belonging. It may be a religious place. It might not be a religious place, but somewhere special that you go to. Where is that place? Now, I would like you to think of that place. Some of you may have said a religious place like a church or a mosque. Some of you may have said a special place at home or a special place that maybe you go on holiday. Now, what I would like you to do is draw that special place and think about what it might have in common with some of the special religious places that we've looked at. I want you to think about who you would usually go there with, because in lots of these places that we've looked at, lots of the religious places we've looked at, people were together to create that sense of community. So who do you go to your special place with? And maybe you could draw them in the picture with you. Is there a special object that you would take there? Or is there a special object or thing that is already there? Maybe it's a special thing that you do. When I used to go on holiday, we used to always go to a special place called Pleasurewood Hills, it was called. It was like a theme park. And we never went on holiday without going to that special place. And it became almost a tradition of our holiday. And it really made that holiday feel special every year because we did certain things together every year as a tradition. Have you got any special things that you do when you're at your special place? Is there a symbol or emblem that you see when you go there? Maybe your special place is your school, and maybe you wear an emblem on your jumper for your school. Or maybe it's a club that you belong to and a special place you go to be and do that club, to be with the people that are at the club with you. Maybe you have a special uniform that you wear. And think about, how do you show respect when you're there? There was lots of respect in these religions, and I wonder, is there a way that you show respect when you go to your special place? So I'm going to pause there and I'm going to draw my special place, and I want you to draw your special place, thinking about those things. Who do you go with? Do you take anything special? Do you do anything special there? And we'll come back together and talk about it together when you're finished. Good luck. Now, I'm going to do mine. You go do yours, and I'll meet you back here. Hello, everyone. So, have you drawn your special place? Wow, look at those. Now, who do you go to your special place with? Some of you are saying your family. Some of you are saying your grandparents. And maybe some of you are saying your friends. Now, if I show you my special place is movable, actually. It's my camper van. So my camper van is my special place. I absolutely love going anywhere in my camper van. But what I like about it is it's the same. I can be somewhere different, but this place where I spend my time and where we sleep is the same. And the people I go to my special place with are my family. So my children sleep in the top of the camper van and I sleep in the bottom of the camper van there. So you might go to your special place with your family, do you? Or your friends? Lovely. Now, I put on my picture that we eat marshmallows because this is something special that we do every time we go out in our camper van. And a lot of religions will have special feasts or food that they eat to celebrate. And it wouldn't be a camping trip or my special place if I didn't toast marshmallows on the fire with everybody. Do you eat or do anything special at your special place? Some of you have a meal with your family and it's your favourite one. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Some of you go to a special activity at your special place. Now, the special activity I do while I'm at my special place is I play a game called Cub, and I play lots of cards. So my special place, we eat marshmallows and we play lots of games, and I am with my family. Now, I wonder whether you could take your picture and show it to one of the grown-ups in your life and maybe talk about your special place together and see if it has similarities with any of the religious places that we looked at today. Thank you for joining me for our RE session, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.